I know Closer from Turkey. I knew him since his first rookie split in TCL, and since then we've been really, really close friends. It's almost like I would describe him as my brother, you know? That's how close we are.
It was our first split together. Everyone was expecting us to be like really bad team, but we went to final in first split. In that one split, we were like really like a real brothers.
After I left, I think he got really good. I think I kind of lit his fire to become very good as well and play in a better region.
I believe Broken Blade doing this inspired a lot of Turkish players that they can do this. In his first split, he almost take down the best team, so I was happy for him, and I also believed myself that I can do it as well.
Coming down, stuff's gonna be taken very low. There goes your bullet time, and Closer's coming around from the side.
When I ended up in NA, I was really happy that we're gonna meet again.
No matter what happens, outside of the game, we are friends, and if he can win against any team, and I don't care, but against us, he really can win.
Right now we will be enemies, so I'm excited to play against him, and I can't wait to just beat him and make jokes after.
We will just make fun of each other, like the whole year, if someone loses.
For rest of the splits, maybe like the rest of the year, so I need to win this match.
Close friends and now rivals. Hello and welcome back to the State Farm Analyst Desk for Game 2, where Golden Guardians will be facing off against TSM. Before we get into how these teams match up, one of the biggest criticisms mounted against Golden Guardians was their choice of support. And given his rough start, probably you had a thought experiment, actually, you wanted to bring to the desk today. Let's talk about it.
So yeah, I want to preface this by saying this is not a defense of Keith staying on the roster. This is more of a thought experiment for the viewers, because I think surface level, right, you're going to look at kills and deaths, and then maybe like team fight mistakes, like kind of the really like surface level things. So I kind of want to bring to light some of the things that like a team might be thinking on why they would keep a player that is performing pretty poorly.
Okay, lay it out.
So a big thing is like, why did they pick up Keith? I think it's pretty obvious. They wanted a support to be able to play lane well. They weren't picking him up in terms of like, we need to have a late game shot caller. And running through their losses, they have a loss to 100 Thieves, which I would say is pretty much a late game loss. Like they're winning pretty much all early game. And then they have a loss against Cloud9. I'm gonna be nice about that.
Wash, because everyone's lost to Cloud9.
Everyone's lost to Cloud9.
Yeah.
And then their Immortals loss. And I'll say the Immortals, he performed especially poorly in that game, where maybe the loss could be like more attributed to him.
Okay.
But looking at those other, two losses, we're saying like, are we gonna swap a player out because of like one game might have been him? Because yeah, it doesn't really seem like they're losing lane phase really hard, and that's why you need to replace him. And then remember, Team Liquid replaced, or they didn't replace, but they didn't have Broxah when they came in. And this is 4 veterans winning all these splits together and replacing one person. Like, do you see how far Team Liquid fell? Just because they have to like rebuild so many things. So if GGS wanted to do that now, and for the start of week 3, when they're at 1 and 3 already, like they're not gonna be able to climb back out of that hole.
Right, you're taking an already poor start.
Yeah.
And then you're, basically demeriting, the team again, saying, yeah, we're gonna make a change and hope that that catalyzes us to go upwards, when in fact it might actually make us dip even further before it ever gets better.
Right, I mean, there are times where roster swaps can give a team a temporary immediate boost, but usually that's more from internal mindset than one player became so much better that now we're on a streak. And you get that kind of honeymoon phase you hear people talk about, but that is more about the mental reset. And if the team is not like upset, then that changes. You're not going to feel better with a change. If they still believe in their own roster, then there's no reason to yet. And I think that's kind of how it feels, at least when I see them around and how they're interacting. They seem like they get along very well still, and there's not this kind of mental fatigue only 3 weeks in.
Yeah, it's a really weird situation too with Golden Guardians, because their academy support is Huhi, which is also a role swap. So it's not like they have Keith, who's like they're trying out and they just want to see how it works.
Right.
And then now they have another support who's like ready to go. And it's like they're both using, or both rosters are using these like supports that.
I mean, in terms of current options, they don't have many, right? And that's just another factor to feed into this whole discussion is there even another support that would be available that we feel would be an upgrade in this situation? More so than answering that question, what I do want to ask you guys is, with this explanation, now to defense, is it even the right move? Do you agree? Should Golden Guardians be actively searching for somebody else to fill that support position here in spring? Or are you okay with this, persisting through 18 games, see where it lands, and then, reconvene in the off season between spring and summer?
Well, I mean, this is difficult because on one hand, you have Keith coming in who, right, they brought him from the AD carry position, and they knew, expectations had to be pretty low, right? He's role swapping. He had maybe 2 months of practice.
Yep.
So is 2 weeks of playtime enough to show this is how well this player can be? Or is this still his growth time?
I mean, I have a pretty strong opinion on this. I'm biting my tongue.
Don't bite the tongue.
Well, I have something else planned on Monday Night League, James. Don't try and get me to spill the beans.
When does that happen?
Monday night.
Oh, Monday night.
Monday.
Got it. Well, here's another question then to extend, and then we'll move off of this topic and over to TSM perhaps. FBI alongside Keith. Let's not ignore that this is a duo lane. How does FBI seem to be performing, maybe as compared to last year, with somebody like Keith next to him?
I mean, this is one of the big things that they had in their video when they kind of released the information about Keith's role swap, was that they wanted someone who could punish people in lane as a good offensively minded mechanical player that could work with FBI, who also wants to play that way. And I don't think that they've been great about punishing other people's mistakes yet, but I don't think that would be expected in the first couple weeks. Keith himself said, you guys are going to need to be patient with me. When he was saying that to the management, when they were saying, hey, do you want to swap? He was like, I can, but you need to give me time because you're asking me to do this in 2 months and I've never done it and I'm playing with a new player. So I think all those things combined means that it's a little too early to judge still. A little bit.
And you know what? Good on Keith for being able to kind of staunchly put that out there. Just say hey, okay, I'm okay with this move, but we're going to put some parameters around how we assess how I'm doing here. All right, let's flip on over. We'll see if Golden Guardians can shore up those weaknesses today against TSM. But they're on a precipice of extending a 4-win streak here. All of a sudden, the turnaround from this squad after week 1 has been, astronomical.
Yeah, TSM went to a very kind of indecisive games where you don't know when they're actually going to make a play or if they're just going to keep farming side lanes. And then into this week where it's all right, Dardoch's flashing in, he's engaging, and they're actually getting the fights they want.
Right. So can I be hyped?
Yes.
Can I be hyped
I
about
think
this team?
little hyped.
I think you can be hyped because the primary beneficiary of this Dardoch going in being more aggressive is actually Broken Blade. When you looked at the best that TSM looked last year, it was Spring Split after floundering in topside and jungle synergy. They eventually got it figured out, and he became a huge threat in the playoffs and in the finals. Broken Blade really looked like one of the premier players, and that was off the back of good synergy with Acadian. Broken Blade and Dardoch are now building that same thing. It's very much mirroring Spring Split when I see this journey. Yeah, they messed up a dive yesterday where one went in and one didn't, but that's exactly how it looked last split.
That's true.
And so eventually, if they can get onto the exact same page, that would be a really dominant force when you have such a strong bot laner with Kobbe, really good about collecting his farm, being a stable force, and then Bjergsen can kind of do it all.
And I think, just isolating Dardoch too. There's the idea that they had a rough start, and I know, I'm speaking for myself initially, I was like, this is it. You start 0-2 with Dardoch on the team, I was thinking that's disaster. But they bring it back for 3 in a row after that, looking for their 4th here today against Golden Guardians. Champ Select is on the screen, so we're tossing it out to the Battle Arena for the call.
Thank you, Dash. Golden Guardians versus TSM. As TSM starting to get the fans re-hyped, Chad. I know you're always happy when TSM are doing well.
I'm not happy or sad big time as a neutral third party in this whole TSM debate. But I will say that TSM did look a lot better, particularly yesterday. It was a vintage Syndra game from Bjergsen. It had far better mid and late game coordination than any of the previous 4 games. So there is reason to be hopeful and to also, accept the reason they were bad, where Bjergsen he's been really sick this year and he's just starting to come out of it, and you got to see what him playing at a higher level looked like for this team. But now they move into this Golden Guardians game, looking to go to 4-2, as Dash said.
Just to quickly recap, Syndra, Aurelia, GP, Bjergsen and Broken Blades champions Ben on the Golden Guardian side, and then kind of some standards on Red, Rumble, Akali, and Set as Xayah Rakan locked in after Aphelios, so no Senna wanted here for TSM.
Yeah, no Senna Aphelios handshake, particularly in the LCS. Aphelios has a very good win rate against Senna, so I'm totally okay with teams dropping it. I still think overall as a champion, Sen is very powerful, and if you play around it with high wave pushing side lanes to allow Senna to take the mid lane, it's effective, but that's just not how a lot of these teams are using it, and Kobbe's had some good Xayah games already, so I think it's a good choice.
Biofrost also very good on Rakan, so I like the 2v2 they're taking. It is the Thresh for Keith will be the response, so something a bit more aggressive. And Aatrox is open, so it looks like Hauntzer will take it. See if Golden Guardians lock this in for their solo lanes. And they do.
Would Broken Blade do Riven here?
He could.
He's talked, a lot of players have talked very complimentary of Viper's Riven. And for FlyQuest, it does kind of threaten off the Aatrox pick. He hovered it at the start, just as like, aha, I used to be an amazing Riven. He doesn't like practicing it nearly as much anymore because he doesn't like transitioning from 60 solo queue ping to stage, which is very low ping on a champion like Riven. They're slow. All right,
I love this. All right, Qiyana. So,
Qiyana flex.
Yes, the flex. Dardoch, really the only Qiyana jungler in the entire league.
Yeah.
I think he's actually the only player that's played it so far this split. So.
Yeah. It's bold to pick it into Closer as well, who is an exceptional Qiyana. So he will know if this gets flexed away from mid into jungle like TSM has done already so far this split. Closer will know kind of all the limits of the Qiyana jungle. So I think it's actually pretty dangerous to flex it in the jungle, specifically against this player. We'll see.
We'll see what bans happen here as well. LeBlanc, the selection there for Golden Guardians. Keeping that one away from Bjergsen. Lee Sin, the other ban. So TSM saying, hey, we're just going to take these junglers away. At least threatening the Qiyana.
Yeah.
Here for Dardoch.
Yeah, TSM's done a lot of this year where they'll flex a solo lane. They'll pick a champ that is somewhat flexible in jungle. It's not a top tier jungler like a Lee Sin or an Elisa or a Gragas, but then they'll end up banning out all the top tier of junglers, and Dardoch will basically match up as like a tier 2 jungle champion because it almost seems like even though they're picking these flexes, they're almost never flexing into the solo lane. They're almost always flexing into the jungle. So I'd say like at this point it's 70-30, that it maybe even 80-20 that Dardoch is playing this Qiyana jungle. But you have to respect the fact that it can go solo.
And I love that about Dardoch. You know, a player that's always been willing to play a wide variety of jungle champions, has never shied away from using his mechanical skill on some of these more carry-oriented players. All right, and there's Gragas, so don't worry about all that.
Jeez, so why do the Gragas now? Because they could have just picked an Aatrox matchup and held it later, except they banned out the other 2 power junglers. The Gragas ban didn't match, so they wanted to do a power pick jungle. It makes sense.
It does.
I just had to work through it.
And Camille also taken away from Broken Blade, so he will lose another potential counter pick to the Aatrox. But Closer going to fall down to Jarvan, certainly a pick he's played pretty successfully already, so can't be too upset at what's happened here.
Yeah, neither composition looks weak in any way. It's probably Qiyana mid, but the thing with TSM is it could also be Qiyana top, depending on the matchup, if they ever think of picking one of those like giant front line things. Like an Ornn here wouldn't be totally shocking. They'd be all physical damage, which would be the reason you wouldn't do it, and that's why they do Zoe mid.
Yep, Zoe instead. Very solid champion. Kind of curious to see what is going to happen with these solo lanes.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I know it's backtracking a little bit, but if TSM didn't lock in Gragas, Golden Guardians could have done Gragas jungle with an Ornn mid, and then they would have had AP threat. But that actually stopped them from being able to do Ornn mid, because if Ornn mid Aatrox top, Qiyana has no good lane.
Well,
and they denied the Ornn pick. But now, since it's TSM who has the AP jungler, they're okay going with physical damage mid laner, so that's another reason the Gragas is a higher priority in this draft.
Makes sense, as Ornn is the last pick there for Broken Blade. Not really a counter pick, just a very solid 1v1 laner that does give you nice, solid, straightforward engage. In fact, both teams kind of played things out pretty normally, apart from looking at the junglers who have been very active so far this split in the early game. Very curious to see how this mid lane matchup works out. Have not seen Bjergsen's Qiyana in a while. They swapped.
Uh-huh. It's the Qiyana top, the triple flex Qiyana, and the Ornn mid. I'm not in the majority here. I really like Ornn mid.
I like Ornn mid.
For like all the wrong reasons. It's not exciting, but it's effective. it can just wash so many lanes. And what I mean by wash a lane is it stops the other person from being able to get aggressive. Abyssal Mask is like the best Ornn item. You can start Negatron Cloak, you can basically make it so the other guy can't kill you, and then you're still this great teamfight initiator. Good swap.
It's one of those things where, like, yes, Bjergsen is very competent on, you know, more carry style champions. So his Syndra, the other control mages, his assassins, like, I'm sure he can play Qiyana. But Broken Blade has just always been this player, especially even early on in this split, that's like, I want to be aggressive, I want to carry, give me the flashy champion, and I'll get it done. And Bjergsen, to his credit, has pretty consistently defaulted in his career to playing more of a role player or a support role when he is needed to.
Yeah,
think of the amount of Galio games he played that one split over and over and over again, just because that's what his team needed. So Ornn mid is definitely a player that is more selfless. But as exciting as Qiyana triple flex is, this 2v2 is extremely volatile.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where Dardoch paths in the early game as we get a quick pause. Hopefully that's an issue on stage that we can get fixed very quickly. Looks like Broken Blade is calling something in. See what the resolution is on that. Qiyana top, man, it's good. He was like the first guy on the Qiyana train. If you remember back to when Qiyana was released, within like a day, there was a Qiyana pentakill from Broken Blade stream clip. Like, he's been ready to play this champ on stage for a while.
It's nice to see him play Aurelia yesterday, again, leaning more into those flashier champions that he's been showing off from time to time. It seems like Broken Blade having a monitor issue, so we'll look to get that resolved ASAP. It's difficult to play when you can't see. That's true of any champion. But we'll see exactly how long it all shakes out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tracking Dardoch versus Closer. And obviously, these players, once they're in the game, they're usually very much like nameplates off, let's do whatever the best play is. But knowing the relationship of Closer and Broken Blade, part of me is like, I wonder if he'll put more jungle attention to top, because it's so hard for a Jarvan to gank a Qiyana at any stage in the game, especially post-6, when you can just R the R and stun the Jarvan, but it's going to be fun.
I mean, where else do you really want to go, though? Like, you don't want to gank the Ornn mid with Spellbook. 2v2 maybe, if you can set it up, but Xayah and Rakan are pretty slippery. Thresh keeps your AD pretty safe. So top lane seems like the most obvious place to go, because that's the matchup with potentially the most volatility, but we'll see. Junglers are going to start on the same side perhaps, so maybe Closer's going to rotate himself down to the bottom half. It's Goldenglue skipping in mid lane. Certainly remember his Zoe when he was back in Academy, when that champion first came out. He was one of the players picking that one up alongside Damonte there. And has been very popular. In fact, Zoe's win rate, especially for teams on the lower end of the standings, has been really high.
Yeah, Zoe always finds a way back. It's a fairly blind, pickable solo lane choice, and going to be spending a lot of time on the jungle here, so neither team is pulling for their jungler, and the question is how much that information is hidden. So Kobbe showing right there, and keep doing that late invade, will give Closer and Golden Guardians information that Dardoch is likely starting topside, and that's all they know. And all TSM knows is the Closer didn't get a pull. They don't know if he started red or blue yet.
Yep. Bjergsen gave Dardoch one pillar on the Raptors, and that was it. That's all you get.
Yeah, that's all you got time for. It's actually more generous than most mid laners are going to be.
That's true. Again, Bjergsen willing to play for his team here, even in the early stages of the game. We'll certainly watch this 1v1 though.
No, we got to talk about the jungle already.
Take it back.
Closer has skipped everything. He's going straight for Dardoch at his red, and he's a second late. It's gone.
Yep, gets a sweeper, had that as well to help out this invade. And we'll get the bad news that that's gone. And the next camp you may have wanted also gone.
Wow, and that is partially because Bjergsen helped pull Raptors. That sped up the clear enough to buy him that second or two to get over to Krug. So it's actually now 3 camps to 1 with what Dardoch was able to do in this early jungle matchup.
Not to see that early on. Hauntzer having a great time in the 1v1. Qiyana's first few levels known to be not so good. Level 1 especially is
weak.
Pretty meh. But I'm sure that will pick up and check back in on that matchup in a moment. For now, into the bot lane we go. Xayah and Rakan versus Aphelios and Thresh. FBI and Keith getting the job started early as Broken Blade getting fancy already. Procs electrocute there in the top lane. Certainly don't want to take long fights against the Conqueror Aatrox.
Yeah. I'll be very impressed if Broken Blades wins this matchup without jungle assistance. Aatrox is exactly the type of champion you expect Qiyana to struggle against. But if he dodges all of the skill shots and plays it perfectly, yeah, you can win, but it's really dangerous.
You can see a bit of that there with Broken Blade picking up the grass element and hiding in stealth as Hauntzer tried to find a follow-up Q3. Level 3 now in 2v2 for TSM. So Keith and FBI will be forced to play back a little more, but should ding over in just a few moments. And junglers now starting to generate a bit more activity. Closer is on the top side, maybe expecting Dardoch to be here as well. So I think just making sure that Hauntzer doesn't get involved in any scuffles he doesn't want to be in. In fact, Closer, I think he started a recall and canceled
because the wave's in a bad spot for Broken Blade.
Good flash. Yeah. Now he knows the jungle is here. Electrocute procs. Closer with a good sweeper is going to find Broken Blade there. And it might be a solo job. Broken Blade back with the grass element though, so should be okay. Kind of feigns going back in on Hauntzer, and that's enough to make him fall away.
Yeah, there's a lot of grass up there, and Grass Blade is really hard for Jarvan to deal with. Even the fact that as you're grabbing an element, you jump away, like, it's a really, really hard champion to gank. So great job by Broken Blade, actually, just kind of toying with Closer there. Dardoch giving him extra confidence to push the wave in, but really, Broken Blade did it by himself there.
Yeah, I mean, Dardoch basically just making sure that Closer wasn't sticking around for the long con. He was in the brush, but does complete his recall. And Broken Blade will get the wave push in and maintain a small CS lead. In fact, Dardoch's even found Hauntzer, just buying extra time for Broken Blade there in the top lane.
Yeah, looks small, but it ends up denying 3 minions by the time Hauntzer gets back to that turret. Every little thing counts.
Broken Blade also, Execution is calling first. Always popular against the Aatrox.
Get that redemption.
You have to get it, it's so good. Clears the wave with it.
I think when you get an early redemption like that, you should dive bot. Or fight River, or fight Dragon. The fact that he used it to clear the wave is okay, because they're just going to get uncontested stuff anyway, but I always like it when they hold it in case a fight happens.
Instead,
I guess it's fine.
Golden Guardian's feeling comfortable enough to just go ahead and take this first Drake. Goldenglue will rotate down just to make sure. TSM don't seem too worried about giving over that first Drake. And in general, the first 2 Drakes tend to go by pretty quietly.
Yeah, with Ornn Xayah, TSM is ultimately looking for that level 13-ish power spike where you have both of the Ornn upgrades, hopefully Abyssal Mask and Sunfire Cape, and an upgraded Infinity Edge for the Xayah. That's when they're really going to be at like this is something that Atlas coined, like the human call has completed, is when Ornn hits level like 13 or 14. So that's one of the things that Ornn is really good for.
Broken Blade still fighting Hauntzer. Does have his ulti ready, but keeps eating sweet spots on Aatrox Qs. As Dardoch is lining up this dive. Bjergsen here as well with the ulti.
They want to dive. Hauntzer has flash, but not 6.
Time to go Predator. Bjergsen off to the side. Gonna get the Ornn horn blown away, and that's an easy first blood. Broken Blade able to grab it.
That's a nice CC chain right there. Never giving Hauntzer the opportunity to flash and going, even though Closer showed. So to me, this is actually growth for TSM. There were so many moments in the first couple weeks where they'd send everyone up and then not complete the dive because they saw like a chance that it goes wrong. Here they just go. So watching it one more time, Dardoch is full health, Broken Blade is 50%, but it's fine. Dardoch takes turret aggro, just walks up and body slams, full CC lock, and then he flashes away so that he doesn't get hit by an extra turret shot and doesn't give Jarvan a window to kill him. Great execution on that dive.
Nice and clean, and that is Broken Blade. Now with 2 longswords and 10 CS up as Hauntzer rejoins the lane. Still has his flash, so the redive, maybe not as likely. But TSM certainly showing that with the Ornn having the ulti as well, Bjergsen able to easily leave that lane. Dardoch will have his ulti next attempt as well, if they want to go for it. Certainly is somewhere that they could look to continue harassing. But for now, we'll just set back with a little bit of PvE in mid lane.
Yeah. Definitely want to track the timers as we approach 8 minutes, knowing that Ornn and Qiyana ultimate were just used. TSM will want that if there is a Rift Herald fight. So I'm actually paying a lot of attention to the bot wave right now. When that gets pushed into turret, it's possible that Keith would roam up towards Rift Herald, or in fact just initiate another recall to go for something. It's a little weird because FBI already got a good BF sword back, but if they can get a good push, I can see them starting Rift Herald early.
I also learned something today, which I'm excited to share. Bjergsen very cleverly using Bellows Breath to not get put to sleep. I didn't realize it worked that way.
You can even buffer Mordecai's breath. Ooh. You can just cancel. Ooh. There's a half-second cast time. If you see him reaching his hand out, just press W on Ornn. You don't go into the death run.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because he's unstoppable, and it's a suppression.
He certainly is unstoppable.
Yeah.
So again, Bjergsen clearly experienced with this champion and the matchup. Keith is rotating into mid lane to give it a go.
Yeah, so that's the roam. They got push, and they just walk up there. So they're going for Rift. Although Broken Blade and Bjergsen do have ultimates, so there's a chance that they'd look to contest this. Bjergsen does get chunked, though.
Yeah, might be just enough there to force TSM away from contesting here. Dardoch is on the bottom half of the map right now.
All right, they're giving it up from the looks of it, but we need to track the plates here. So what was given up versus what was gained is the choice of whether this Rift was worth it. Yes, they get the Rift Herald, but look at the bottom lane. It's 2 plates that go over to Xayah, as well as farm. How many plates do they get in the top lane, and how much farm are they actually giving up? Because they're looking for a play top here. If they can kill Broken Blade, they can take the whole turret. Broken Blade's already playing safe, so what you want to do is get 2.5 plates, then drop the Rift. That gives you the whole turret. It looks like they're actually in position to do something close to that.
Yep, dropping the Crescendum turret as well. FBI pretty quickly chunking down the tower. Broken Blade threatening closer. Still has his ulti ready as well.
Not dropping it yet.
Wanting a few more plates if they can get it, but now the reinforcements have been called in. Biofrost and Dardoch now here in the top lane.
Huh. So far, it's 2 plates for 2 plates, but 1 team has Rift. So it's a good trade for Golden Guardians, but they're probably good in this one because they didn't lose that much overall map pressure going through it. I like the play.
We'll see where they do drop the Herald though, have held onto it, and still have a few minutes to collect some plate gold. Goldenglue still with the blue buff, just shoving in. Bjergsen playing respectfully near his tower. Knows that right now, can't really outshot the Zoe. Ooh, Goldenglue getting tricky. Falls asleep this time. But again, takes a lot to chew through the Ornn, especially given that Bjergsen is getting close to finishing up that mask. Already with that Negatron Cloak, as you were alluding to earlier, Jat, does make it so that AP-based mid laners just really can't do anything.
Golden Guardians with a good objective focus as well. Trying to start off week 3 with a bang. Good rotation and get that Drake. Still haven't had to drop Rift Herald.
I think also necessarily respectful of Broken Blade there, who has swapped over and was looking to maybe start a fight with his ultimate. But it's not needed just yet. Instead, it will just be those 2 Drakes. As a reminder, next up is going to be a fun one. The LCS leaders Dignitas and Cloud9 will be facing off.
Yeah, will Sven die?
Will
he run into the turret after not dying the whole game?
I definitely hope that doesn't happen.
Will Dignitas break their 2-game losing streak? We'll see.
We will.
That's next.
It is next. Very exciting matchup following this one, but we'll stay here for now. Still plenty of game to be played. Golden Guardians, despite the gold deficit of only 1,000 gold, actually been playing nicely to secure all these objectives. They still do have that Herald to drop, and looks like Closer is already in the top lane to do just that.
Oh yeah, that's this first turret. They were able to be patient enough with the Herald. They see when Broken Blade goes for recall. This is really well done by Golden Guardians. This will equalize the gold.
He's gonna get these last few plates in and have it there. That should be enough for the execute. A few more autos required by Hauntzer, but with the help of the Herald herself, nice and easy there for Golden Guardians. Kobbe and Biofrost are doing their best to try and take this tower down as well.
FBI being very respectful of the missing Ornn and the jungler who's right next to them. And Broken Blade able to catch the Herald before it can charge. Please hit that up. There we go.
25 extra gold. TSM though committing for this outer tower. Again, 4v2 for FBI and Keith, even with the tower there.
Okay.
No chance to defend, so TSM do get the eventual trade.
Yeah, so overall, the Herald didn't do much. I know I've been back and forth on this already, but Kobbe has gained about a 15 CS lead, 11 CS lead. You can see he's 400 gold up on FBI. Whereas it was basically the first turret bonus is what the Herald ended up giving over to Golden Guardians. So it's not like a bad play to go for it, but definitely not this objective that both teams like definitely have to contest and sell out for, which we've seen a lot of the time.
Just Golden Guardian continuing to play nice and smoothly here through this early game. Goldenglue, bubble on, gonna find Bjergsen. Ornn is blown, they know exactly where Goldenglue's going. What a redirect from Bjergsen as Biofrost looking for the recombo, finds the knock-up. And the charm onto 2, and Goldenglue ignited down. Honey Fruit, not enough. It's Biofrost that claims it. Here we go, Broken Blade, supreme display of talent, finds 2 for the stun. FBI going down, Closer getting slowed.
TSM just pounced, and Hauntzer's in the jungle.
All right, 1v3. Aatrox with a
got
flash.
flash.
Tries to trick his way out of there. Does get over the wall, and that is to safety.
Zoom, Aatrox just pops his ult and flashes away. Not really the intended use you think of the ultimate, but effective in some cases. TSM just pounced there, though.
They knew. Bjergsen was like, shouldn't be here. Goldenglue getting a little too zealous with the bubbles. Thought he had an easy bit of poke on the Biofrost, then Bjergsen blast cones over and says, absolutely not.
Yeah, just the switcheroo from Biofrost to Bjergsen, and then still a clean engage, like Biofrost being at 40% health, still going in to get that CC and Ignite off, and then coming back, and then obviously Broken Blade catching anyone in the river. His Qiyana mechanics are very clean. Just EQR into reset into another Q for the finish.
And then Hauntzer thought the only way out was here through top. Found a second one, but does cost him his splash and the ulti. But at least escapes without giving another kill away. TSM, they're continuing to mount their lead slowly but surely. Almost 2,000 gold ahead. You can see despite the turret plates being even, TSM with those kills and just generally farming up nicely, particularly on Kobbe, as you mentioned, after those Rift Herald plays. Still find themselves ahead in gold.
Wanted to point out something that's a little bit different. Dardoch's gone cooldown Predator boots rather than Sorcerer shoes. Really wants to flash E as much as possible. For the Summoner Spell cooldown, I'm almost certain, since that's a way they can generate kills, is Gragas E flash into a Qiyana combo.
I like it. We'll see if he does continue to stay
you don't
aggressive.
see it that often.
No. I feel like cooldown boots are those boots that people never are too sure when to buy.
Yeah.
They're probably a lot better than you think in more cases than people are at least currently using them for.
Yes.
Rift Herald is back up, so teams are potentially looking to fight for it. There's also a Drake coming up in a little bit. That's not available just yet. These teams are just 2v2ing here in the mid lane, trying to get
Watch
priority.
Qiyana on the bottom of the screen.
Broken Blade again finds the combo. This time it's Hauntzer caught out. No flash from the last encounter. So Broken Blade on a killing spree as he takes down Hauntzer.
Yeah, that is Broken Blade just searching for assassinations. Speaking of which, trying to do the same.
Oh, Dardoch in there. Does burn, not the flash. Body slam was enough, and Kobbe says, see you later, Goldenglue.
TSM making this Qiyana work. That was just one Qiyana play into a second pick mid lane, and that'll give them the third Drake most likely.
And Drake over is the mountain, which will be the soul for this game, of course. Dardoch and Broken Blade easily able to combine for this. TSM just trying to build up lead. I mean, again, it's just, I think it's not just that they've been willing to do things, which maybe we could have criticized them for not doing as much of in week 1, but the crispness of their execution with a comp that we haven't seen them play before.
Yeah, it's decisiveness, even if the decisiveness is not going for play. They're going for Hauntzer again. Qiyana ult's not up, so it's a little tricky.
Dardoch into stasis he goes. But another route here. Broken Blade is continuing to chain them. CC is just everywhere, and Hauntzer, he's trying, but he can't get out. It's Dardoch that claims the kill this time.
Yeah, that's extra bad for Hauntzer because he's off ultimate cycle now, so Broken Blade is actually sitting on a bunch of gold. He's got 1,500, so the next time he tries to split, the matchup may be snowballed enough now that Broken Blade could consider a one-shot combo if they get him with Dardoch again. But yeah, to your point, TSM has been decisive, and something that shows decisiveness to me in a weird way is like not going for a Rift Herald swap or being okay giving up 2 Drakes. We just came off of the 100 Thieves Immortals game where we saw 100 Thieves contest objectives that were like a 25% chance of working for them, if that. Here, when Golden Guardians is first to a play, TSM has at least been trying to get pressure elsewhere, which was honestly completely lacking for TSM in the first 2 weeks of play, where they would have terrible side lane farm and were therefore behind on almost every play. Here, their side of the farm is better.
Oh, that was sick.
They're going for it, but he missed the ult.
Yeah, Biofrost in there as well. Actually, really well played by Goldenglue there. Juke's left. Oh, we'll talk about it in a second. Bjergsen, ooh, tries to find the sitter. Dardoch in as well. Not just yet. Oh, Bjergsen, just playing Gragas, I guess. Gets a knock up there on the Keith with the pillar combo, and Dardoch just shorts at Kobbe the target, but Closer has to get out of there. The bubble landing, though, may actually turn it back around. Kobbe trying to protect his jungler, Biofrost here as well, but Hauntzer maybe now wants to look for the re-engage. Great bubble there. So paddle start from Goldenglue, but not enough to slay Biofrost.
Yeah, a lot of damage being done by Goldenglue there, and this extended trade all started by Goldenglue's outplay in the top lane. Means Golden Guardians might get this mid-turret.
Sleepy Bjergsen, nope. Goes unstoppable. Rift Herald though, as Dardoch gets chunked. Goldenglue now out of mana though, but it's just enough. Inferno multi out does not get the pick off. And the tower goes over to Golden Guardians without anybody dying.
Woo. Tense moment in the game there. Golden Guardians still somehow killless in this game, even though there were so many close calls in that last fight.
But Broken Blade continuing to shove things out in the top lane, and this is kind of something I like. I see this often in jungle and in mid lane for Qiyana, is these Moby boots. But I'm not sure if in top lane you're looking to maybe take 1v1s more, or if Moby boots are just simply the standard. But if you look at that boot choice and the fact that Broken Blade, despite his excellent scoreline, is still down in CS to Hauntzer, he's just playing to roam and make plays elsewhere. Broken Blade's impact is significantly higher in this game than it would be if you just look at the landing stats.
I think you are absolutely right on that one. We even saw yesterday Niski going boots and mobility first, like before any damage, because the roam impact is high. He learned his lesson. R's down, but he still had a flash.
Oh, it gets in there. What a play! Blast the supreme display of talent while asleep. Buffers the Q through, and that's enough to get the kill this time.
He is playing completely free this game. Going for that play with a Drowsy a quarter of a second away from killing him and being able to get all his spells in is huge. Now can you juke the Jarvan?
There's one.
As soon as he sees him, Closer's pressing R.
Sweeper again.
But he
gets
hasn't
out.
seen
He's
him
done
yet.
up. Back to his friend, Closer. Fast auto finally gets it. The shutdown is good, but Closer will sacrifice himself for it. The first kill is a Closer may be able to zip out of there. Kobbe's here as well. Bjergsen finds the angle, and Kobbe gets donated the kill.
Brother, we go down together. Closer and Broken Blade say, oh my goodness. And that's the trick about like ganking Qiyana. Sometimes it can take so much time. Grassblade into Grassblade. We're gonna watch the solo kill. Goldenglue uses R. And Broken Blade says, you shouldn't have done that. Still flashes, but then watch this. Sees the angle, flashes for it before the Drowsy completes. Great play by Broken Blade.
Yep, waited for Goldenglue to commit to the bubble and knew that the flash could kill after. So Goldenglue suffers another death. Broken Blade this time able to find his outplay and grab his 4th kill of this game. He's actually been involved in almost every kill. 7 out of 8 participations there for Broken Blade in this game. Golden Guardians with their own kill. Closer got a lot of gold killing Broken Blade. I think it was 700 shutdown gold.
Uses that for the Stone Plate, so he's going to be low on burst. Or sorry, hard to burst. It's going to be Kobbe who needs to do most of the damage in the late game, for sure.
Bit of space here opened up in mid for Golden Guardians with that mid outer tower felled. So looking to play for this next Drake. Again, Mountain Soul. And the 3rd Drake for Golden Guardians would be here as Broken Blade maybe a little too far forward. Good damage though to Hauntzer. Can't undersell just the power of this early lethality for Broken Blade either. And don't want to be in this choke point. It's extra awkward because that little extra rock that Qiyana can try and play around.
Ooh, we might get to see like a Giga Qiyana ultimate.
Yeah.
Jarvan terrain connects terrain.
Ooh.
Especially on mountain map. But here we go. Let's see if they can steal this Drake.
Oh, good Drowsy there. They're actually maybe going to try and find the snipe here, and the Broken Blade does get killed. Drake now for the taking. They're going to try and grab it soon. Bjergsen though can't redirect the ult. He just uses it for the slow, and that's the Drake over to Golden Guardians. FBI able to get it. Goldenglue finds Dardoch, but is not going to continue. Once Kobbe instead, who goes into the Featherstorm, but gets dumped by Closer. They trap him in there. That's the shutdown. Golden Guardians finally finding a team fight going right.
They just took control of the game. That one pick onto Broken Blade at such an important moment means they can not only become 1 Drake away from getting Soul, they get 2 of the most important shutdowns, and it might be Baron.
Reading the game state well, knowing that Broken Blade was going to look for another flank Goldenglue and Closer sniff it out, shut him down, and a straight onto Baron. Bjergsen, can he swap to Smite? Does Dardoch want to try and get in there as well? They're TPing, but Bjergsen may be caught here. Keith, gonna be the first target, but Bjergsen is not tanky enough. The free play out is nice. Closer looking to go down. Biofrost chased him. The Ignite isn't up there. And that's gonna save them from the Baron. Golden Guardians are still chasing. Flash hook there from Keith. Finally coming up trumps.
Golden Guardians is so low.
But no objective. Junglers are dead. Time to reset.
Whew, so, right there, Golden Guardians was not about doing Baron with the Qiyana up. So they fully committed to fighting outside of the pit, and that was very explosive. Closer almost made it out of this one alive. But we're gonna go all the way back to the more decisive fight. Goldenglue just catching Broken Blade, trying to flank with that sleep is what starts everything, and TSM just has to bail. Kobbe trying to DPS as much as possible, but Closer lands the EQ as the Aatrox W is there, and then ultimate. So great layering of CC by the Guardians. And then the end of this fight, watch the Raptor assist right here. As Closer smites to try and stay alive, but then Biofrost just like makes sure the Raptors are hitting the Jarvan, and that's what secures the kill.
Keith though with a nice hook to follow up. Means that both junglers die. Baron is not a threat anymore. And we reset to this game state, which now has Golden Guardians ahead, but not by much. You can see the goal difference for the entire game. The biggest lead has been just under 2,500 gold. And now we've come all the way back for Golden Guardians, who are almost 1,000 ahead.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot about who can outcarry in these team fights. Is it going to be the Aphelios or the Xayah? Something that's interesting is that Kobbe does not yet have the Infinity Edge, so Bjergsen doesn't have the Ornn upgrade, but they're still looking to make pressure in mid.
They'll get the tower as well. Good play there from Bjergsen, just to use the ulti, buy the space, threaten FBI. TSM have enough room to take a tower and retake the gold lead, actually. Up now 800 to getting the gold from that objective. But still, the Soul Drake in a number of minutes will be available for Golden Guardians, and Baron is still available for either of these two teams, and they both do it, I would say, quickly enough. You mentioned the Aphelios gun combo already, certainly a way that GG can look to threaten that objective.
And it's of hyper importance in this game because of how Broken Blade is building and just the way Qiyana works. He's double lethality items. If 2 Mountain Drakes go over, you're already increasing the armor and MR, which reduces the burst potential, but the Mountain Soul shield will basically make it so Broken Blade can't one-shot anyone. And that's kind of all that champ does, aside from some CC setup with the ultimate is attempt one-shot. So if Golden Guardians get this soul, their chances of winning go way up.
Minute 20 till that soul is up. Biofrost roaming through the enemy jungle, getting some deep vision down. Does spot both Closer and Hauntzer on the Krog camp. The Closer's going to clear one of those out as Biofrost looks to recall and refresh those wards. Goldenglue doing the blue himself, does grab it, which will be pretty critical with upcoming objective fight. Both ADs in decent spots. Probably certainly ahead on farm, but item-wise they're looking pretty close.
Kobbe's, if you're TSM right now, you got to be putting every last bit of gold into Kobbe, because if you can get Infinity Edge before that Mountain Drake, it really increases your chances of winning the fight.
Almost 2,000 gold on him. Dardoch a little too far forward. Box goes down, but Biofrost there to save him. In fact, TSM are just continuing. Bjergsen TP'd in. He's got his ulti ready. They're going to force him off this tower.
A little bit awkward for TSM right now, actually. Not able to get dive on that turret, not giving anyone on their team time to go back and base and buy. I mean, Kobbe's sitting on 1,900 gold, but Mountain Soul's up in 20 seconds. They really shouldn't have done that bot lane push.
Yeah, there's I see what they wanted to do. Again, make space, go full back to the Drake and take it. But now Golden Guardians actually have time to re-push out mid and potentially contest in the 5v5.
Broken Blade's looking for a flank. Hauntzer just blindly goes in.
They have to know. Sabrina display of talent again onto Hauntzer. They jump on him. He will fall down. Shut down there over to Dardoch as Bjergsen with a great 2-man knockup finds FBI and he's shut down as well. Keith going to be the next one on the menu as Broken Blade is flanked completely around it. He can keep going. Not now. He's going to fall asleep. Goldenglue. Oh, I'm not sure about that play. Forced to flash. Dardoch going to go in. Finds the cast, but good flash out from Goldenglue. It's still Biofrost chased him down. Not enough from the portal jump to save him. That's 4 kills for TSM, and that will be Baron.
Gonna turn straight for it. The one person who's alive, though, is Closer, and Biofrost just used to see him. Hello, there he is.
Biofrost, no
Saw
excited. Broken Blade just gonna make sure he absolutely can't get out.
Yeah, they're just not gonna let him in.
2 former friends from TCL, and Broken Blade says, you are not getting into the pit today. They'll just chase him as far away as they need to. Closer not gonna dip back around for the steal, knows that he's just gonna give away a kill if he tries it.
Mountain Soul is still really important pastry time, so great execution by TSM in that fight. Oh, he's gonna get him.
Oh, he wants it. Oh, the style! Maximum extension, finds the execute off the mountain elements right as Baron goes down.
Oh, and that makes it so it's so hard for Golden Guardians to reset for that Mountain Soul. If they go for it, we'll jump out of the replay for sure, but watch this one more time. Hauntzer's suspicious that Broken Blade and Biofrost are here, and they just go for the combo, right? CC lock, it's a Ninja Tabi Aatrox, so he doesn't have time to do anything during the CC duration, and then, since it's TSM who started the fight, it doesn't matter that Kobbe is sitting on 2,000 gold because they just erased 10,000 gold worth of an Aatrox before the fight, so they're able to win.
I mean, these choke points just look so brutal around these objectives. That extra little rock making it you can't really run anywhere, and TSM have so much CC to throw in. Now the Drake has finally started as we watch the final kill in that previous exchange. TSM are on it. Closer is not quite there in time. That will be Drake over to TSM. Picking up their second, keeping the soul away from Golden Guardians.
Good secure from TSM. The game broken open. You saw Broken Blade gets picked. Golden Guardians gets the lead. Broken Blade picks Hauntzer, and what happens to TSM as the timing of that one being able to turn straight into a full ace as well as Baron was so beneficial. And now the Ornn upgrades come in. So additionally to the 5,000 gold swing, they've gotten extra upgrade gold on the Infinity Edge and the Zonias as they set up this push bot.
It'll be a pretty easy take here with the Baron still up for a minute 30 or so. TSM have more than doubled the highest gold lead that existed when we last checked on the graph. More than 5,000 gold ahead at this stage as they look to keep that moving as they take the tier 2 down in bot. Not really stopping. Concede pretty comfortably here as Kobbe is just throwing feathers into the tower. While Broken Blade is busy escorting minions in mid.
Yeah, TSM need to make something big happen on this Baron push because just the fact that Golden Guardians is still sitting on 3 dragons means a misstep during this Baron power play that turns into a Golden Guardians 4th Drake could still be a Golden Guardians victory. So this Baron power play with 47 seconds left, you want to see TSM either get an initiation or 1 or 2 inhibitors.
Yep, trying to do as much damage as possible, keep them away from that Drake. They will break the bottom inhib, which on this side of the map is beneficial for keeping the Drake away. And that inhib will fall as well. Now it's time to work on the second. 30 seconds of Baron left.
Here it comes, just to push him off, probably. Okay, now Golden Guardian should step up to defend.
He's looking for the hook, does not find it. Bubble also going wide. Bjergsen playing frontline well also. But TSM do need to protect the more fragile carries. And Bjergsen can't tank forever. Golden Guardians, though, not pulling the trigger just yet. Baron will wear off on this wave. Got one more, few precious seconds left to try and shove. Bjergsen looking for Closer, but in the front side is Biofrost that maybe he's found Keeper. He lives! Good ult from Dardoch, though, will secure it as Kobbe's able to find it. Broken Blade, though, shut down on the other side of the fight. So now a 4v4, and I think Golden Guardians will be happy with that.
Yeah, that's an acceptable defense for Golden Guardians, for sure. As they still have stopwatch and both summoners on FBI. If you think about what they're going to need for that next Drake fight, they will be fully prepared to try and contest that Mountain Soul. So sure, they lost an inhibitor, but it's in the bottom side. They can push that out. And we'll watch this fight one more time. Closer clearly looking for a fight, and TSM gets split. Bjergsen on the top side, Broken Blade on the bottom. And since Broken Blade doesn't have an angle, he just gets caught and drowsy, and then both solo laners just kind of gang up on him. So support for top laner is a win trade for the Golden Guardians.
Keep the mid alive as well, at least for now. So 2 minutes until we count down to yet another Mountain Drake. On track for potentially max mountains in this game as well.
Yeah, true.
It's always fun to see. Always like seeing 5 Drakes. That's right.
We're at 5.
Oh, no, 5
6,
single
7.
Drakes, I mean.
Oh, okay. So you see the 4 mountains in a row and then an Elder?
That's good. I like that. That's what I do like. We'll see, TSM at least creeping towards it. 135 until that's up. Currently on the top side of the map, just trying to, again, maintain the control they have, because that turret difference with the super minions in the bottom lane makes the ability for Golden Guardians to leave and contest the objective a little trickier. 1v1 attempt. Into stasis we go. Broken Blade seems like he's got this one sealed, but the flash from Hauntzer may delay it. Broken Blade, though, still chasing, again, back into stasis. Hauntzer, a really nice job, but not enough, and with Dardoch in reserve, Hauntzer was never getting out of that.
Yeah, it's strong Qiyana right now. Check in. You know, only 1,000 gold lead on him, but still, when he gets the jump on him and he layers all that CC, the stopwatch really didn't do anything for Hauntzer. It just gave time for Broken Blade's cooldowns to come back.
Yeah, Dardoch to run down there.
Finish the kill. Yeah.
4v5 now for Golden Guardians. Good bubbles here from Goldenglue. Finding the non-Ornn related targets, but Bjergsen said, I've had enough. On to Keith we go. Again, just tanking, giving his team space to take a tower, which they do.
Kobbe's a little chunked, so it's hard to step up as TSM.
Decent ult there from Dardoch, finds to close it into the alley-oop, but FBI left unchecked with the Infernum.
Watch the TP of Hauntzer. Golden Guardians knows TSM is low and they might look to flank. They have that one ward in the jungle. Is Hauntzer going to take it?
FBI did use his ulti, so that's not available, but I think Golden Guardians will try and chase here. No, Hauntzer not burning a TP just yet. Gotta be careful though, Drake up in 12 seconds.
Again, this is kind of the situation we were in last time where TSM kind of wants to reset, but they're probably just going to wait in the bush for a fight.
Dardoch also had a recall cancelled. Keith is low. Kobbe still fine. Bjergsen again looking for the flank, and it's a triple pincer.
Qiyana.
Dardoch, in we go. Everyone's flashing away. It's Broken Blade. Time to shine. Gets one. Sabine, the player of talent, finds a second. A double kill for Broken Blade as Closer's getting out of there. Hauntzer will fall as well, and the TP and Broken Blade says, I don't care about the KDA. Let me end the game. TSM, they find the fight. There's only one left alive, and Broken Blade from start to finish will end the game and give TSM their 4th straight win.
May start the season 0-2, but what does that really mean, Pace Your Time? It means you need to win 4 in a row to get to 4-2, and now TSM will move into a tie for second as they slowly end out this week. Are they trying for Drake? Are they trying to kill Drake? It's over.
No way. Let's let the minions finish off the drop. Broken Blade sending a message back to his friend from the TCL. And a big smile on Broken Blade's face. I mean, triple flex Qiyana goes top, and boy, did it work out.
Absolutely. Into an Aatrox, too. I don't think that's a good matchup. But it looked like a good matchup in the hands of Broken Blade. He got some good assistance from his team. Dardoch and Bjergsen roaming up early when he was on 6 so he could get the first kill. Roamed around a lot, got a lot of flanks, and overall a solid win for TSM.
I just checked Bjergsen's scoreline, and that's the most on mid scoreline ever. 0-0-11.
Yep. What's not shown in this score is he upgraded an Infinity Edge, a Zhonya's, and a Ghost Blade.
Yeah, so that gold difference on your screen, that's what?
Yeah.
Close to 10k by the end of the game. More than that with the extra on items. Adding a bit of luxury to the inventories. But super solid game from TSM. Continuing the momentum they've had, 4 straight wins now. And again, the way they're winning is the thing that I like to see.
Yes.
Being decisive, making just clean decisions, whether it's to do something or not do something. Playing more aggressive drafts, giving Broken Blade more agency.
It's improved.
Giving Bjergsen on.
Yeah, it's improved. They're showing some more flexibility, and it's a building process, right? Like Spring Split, these teams come in, practice for a couple weeks, right? TSM did boot camp preseason in China and Korea, but then had a break before the season. Bjergsen got sick. They are working their way into form. I still see like Cloud9 mega at the top, but after that, we're now seeing TSM at 4-2, FlyQuest hoping to get to 4-2, Immortals hoping to get there. It's going to be that big stack of teams in second.
Well, maybe TSM will just stay where they are. After the break, 2 of the best mid laners in the league are squaring off. It's Niski versus Froggen in Game 3. Don't go anywhere.
BB?
Yeah.
Only because they have cruiser. Don't play anything differently today, and just play aggressively if you see them.
Yeah.
The opportunity.
Yeah.
What, you're scared?
What?
No.
I'll take down Hauntzer, you can take down Closer, okay?
I don't have flash, you go first.
Okay. I have ulti.
Nice. Back. Really good.
Ignited down, Honey Fruit, not enough. It's Biofrost that claims it. Here we go, Broken Blade. Supreme display of talent finds 2 for the stun.
He learned his lesson. R is down, but he still had a flash.
Oh, it gets in there. What a play.
Great execution by TSM in that fight. Oh, he's going to get him.
Oh, he wants it. Oh, the style.
Every click.
Every frame.
Every press.
Every sound.
They're playing aggressive.
I'll take mid. Every advantage.
When the difference
Between winning and losing
is measured in milliseconds.
everything.
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 Everything counts.
The Alienware Legendary Battle Station.